I haven't met many people that think it's a good idea to take a caravan all the way to Cape York, and I definitely haven't met anyone that's willing to take one on the old tally track, but we did. The Cape is rough, the roads are buggered, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Once you add in the old tally, you're in no man's land. There is no help, you are on your own and you have to be self-sufficient. But there is change happening. The roads are getting better and so are the cars we drive and the caravans we tow. Caravans are now carrying hundreds of litres of water, have massive articulation and high clearances, as well as plenty of solar and power storage. So we hatched a plan. We got a motley crew together to try and prove it's doable or break things trying. The call went out to Zone RV, winner at Best Aussie Vans and makers of some of the most capable and beautiful off-road caravans. Meeting in Cape Tribulation, we thought our first battle would be the famous Bloomfield track, but we got lucky. Our trip started at the tail end of the dry season before the rain that makes the track almost impassable had set in. It was bone dry and beautiful. If you haven't seen where the rainforest meets the reef, you should. Cape Trib is a short drive from Cairns and well worth a look. We had some steep climbs to battle once deep in the forest. You will too, so keep an eye on your engine temperatures, use low gears and take it easy. Safely at Elam Beach, we settled into getting to know the ZF 18-6, part of Zone's off-road series aimed at families. Zone RV are shaking up the established market through the use of clever design and composite construction, plus looks to die for and quality like no other. Composite panel construction is fast becoming popular, with most brands now using the revolutionary one-piece panels to clad their frames. Where Zone stand out is in the extrusions used to join the pieces together. The result of the clever design is a body so strong it is rigid enough to hold shape without a chassis under it. Impressive stuff. The use of composites also means no issues with rot, little to no joints requiring maintenance and a lighter weight. This, the ZF 18.6, coming in at around 2,600 kilos, including options. No extra strengthening was added to the ZF 18. It is an off-the-shelf van and sold as soon as we came back from our trip. It does have some optional goodies though, the sort of stuff you would add if you wanted to do a long, tough trip like Cape York. It's got XT airbag suspension, which can level the caravan on site, but also raise the ride height for water crossings and steep drop-offs. It worked flawlessly on the corrugations too, soaking up the worst of the roads and even dust bowls. On the roof are additional solar panels to bring the total to 400 watts, which feed through a fully automatic system with Bluetooth monitoring to a 200 amp hour battery bank. Even with a power-hungry Millennial on board, the guys never ran out of power. Up with the solar lives an optional satellite TV receiver and one of the most popular options, a 4G mobile booster. Anyone needing coverage that walked up to the Zone got an instant boost, super handy when remote. Another popular option, and the first I would add, is the outside kitchen complete with Weber Q. Other external extras include storage and bike rack up front, rear ladder and extra LED lighting. In terms of standard inclusions that stood out are twin 100 litre water tanks and a 100 litre grey water tank, enough for most big trips, while the 190 litre Dometic fridge took care of more than enough precious cargo. Inside the ZF18, like any Zone RV, is something special. A study in clever design and material use They really are leaders for quality. A lightweight bench top looks great, while the leather lounge has been optioned to convert into more bed space. The layout is family friendly, with plenty of power and USB charging points and even upgraded memory foam mattresses. True luxury. Towing the big rig was Zone's 200 series Land Cruiser. It has a raft of upgrades that raised power, ride height and traction. Combined with the excellent DO35 off-road hitch, it never had an issue in tow. Enough details. You're probably thinking, what are we doing in Cape York with a full-size caravan? We're trying to break it, of course. The guys from Zone RV wanted to test how tough they make them, and we were heading up with some camper trailers, so we thought, why not? If a camper can do the telegraph track, so can a Zone. Even though our plan was to attack the telegraph track, we thought we would try our hands at beach driving. We found the Zone's only weak point, sand. At 2,600 kilos for the van and almost the same for the 200 series, getting bogged was bound to happen. But it was nothing some teamwork and a set of max tracks couldn't fix. Unhitching the trailers, another highlight were the coloured sands near Elam Beach and all of the roadhouses along the way. Day 5 got us where we wanted to be, Bramwell Junction and the start of the telegraph track. It had taken some time and we'd passed some of the best scenery we've ever encountered. Highlights were Battle Camp Road, which would turn from lush greens to deep reds without notice. We didn't do the full length of the track. It's too narrow and the trees hang down too low. Yeah, we wanted to push the Zone to the limits, but bashing it into trees isn't going to help R&D. After battling the first few kilometres, we took a break at Fruit Bat Falls to clean the dust out of our eyes and ears. What came next was a challenge we'd hoped for from the start of our plan to battle the tally, Scrubby Creek. Deep enough and wide enough to put the Zone through the tough line, we reckon we saw the big girl float for a bit. Checking after a couple of passes, we found no water inside, just a small bit in the front storage locker. Onwards into some of the toughest terrain Australia has to offer. After crossing the Jardine River, we met miles on miles of dusty corrugated roads, which tested the build quality of the ZF-18. Would you believe we found more dust in the 200 series than in the Caravan? It says a lot about a company to invest in a new model and immediately put it to the ultimate test. But in Zone's words, that's how you find out what you need to do better. What we learned was that the construction is up to handling the old telegraph and the quality of the build is as good as it gets. Barely any dust made it inside, and even on the hottest days, the inside temperature held steady. Zone have proved that clever design and solid workmanship can open up parts of Australia caravans were never meant to go. The ZF-18-6 left us confident we could go anywhere we wanted, and that's the ultimate endorsement.